3 reasons why I cut down on my photography business so that I could homeschool my kids. If you're new here, I'm Jackie. I'm a photographer in South Jersey, and I slowed down my photography business that was making over 6 figures to be able to homeschool my kids. And reason number 1 is my kids needed more of me. Last year when I started homeschooling at the beginning of the school year, technically, I was still working a lot and I was doing a lot on the weekends, and it was very hustle culture. But this year in 2025, I decided I need to slow it down. I need to take a step back, and it has been the best decision I have ever made. While I love my business, I truly felt like I was not in the right mindset and not looking at the big picture here. And the reason why I started my business was to be able to provide for my family while also being home with my kids. And while I was home, I wasn't present. I wasn't fully there. I was just getting through the motions, and my number 1 focus was still on my business, and I was constantly working at night, and I wasn't putting kids to bed, and I was stressed out. So I decided in 2025 I needed to slow down, and it has been the best decision I have ever made. Now that doesn't mean that I'm slowing down like the amount of sessions I'm doing, but I'm delegating more. So I'm giving more to my editor, I'm giving more to my virtual assistant. Soon with summertime, my associate shooter will be getting more. So while we're still working hard in the business, we're also getting into a recession time of life, I guess. So this is kind of the perfect timing for me to take a little time off to work on the back end of things while I'm still being present with my kids and I'm not as anxious. Number 2, I felt that homeschooling was more of a calling and not just a chore and not just the cool thing to do now. I had a really hard time with my kids last school year with them being in Catholic school. And while I love the school directly and I love the teachings and I love the atmosphere of the school, it just was not working out. I felt, there's a lot of things that I felt, but I felt number 1, that they were not getting the attention that they needed. One of my children had trouble with reading, and we were now going into the 3rd grade this school year, and honestly he probably was still at a 1st grade level. And while I was told going into the new school that there was people there to help with reading and things that they could do, they just didn't have that. And while for a second I thought about putting them back into public school, the reason why I left public school was because of the bullying, the politics, and just so much more chaos in public school, in my personal opinion, that I just did not want to deal with it. So I prayed on it for an entire week, and at the end of that week I knew that was the right decision to make, because I knew I had control to be able to help my children with the things that they were struggling with. And now that we are into 9 months into our school year, my child is reading on level, if not more, honestly. He's doing phenomenal. He's actually loving reading. I love hearing him read, and he's reading when we're out and about. Like, we were just at the grocery store and he's reading the list that I had made him, and he's looking at the signs and actually participating with reading instead of saying, I don't know, or I don't want to do it. He's actually enjoying it. So that was such a big milestone to hit. Reason number 3, I can always rebuild my business, but I only get 1 shot at raising these kids. And I don't regret it for 1 second, stepping back from my business just a little bit to be able to really focus on what is most important, and that is my kids and their education. I do not regret it in any way, shape, or form. I think sometimes to myself, okay, this is a hard day. We're going to get through this. Tomorrow's going to be better. And it's not perfect. It's not rainbow and butterflies. It's messy, and we're trying to figure it out. And I realize my kids are really big with routine, and they really strive on routine. So we took a few days off for spring break. And when we got back into it on Monday, it was trying. It was trying. So every single day we will be doing some form of bookwork. If it is not like their actual curriculum, we have Evan Moore books, we have reading books. They have also iPad games such as Reading Eggs and Math Seeds, which are so cool and so fun, and they love those. So I definitely have a lot of things that they can be doing other than like physical curriculum books to make it fun. Cutting and pasting, teachers pay teachers. There's so many things out there. And going back to the business aspect is I I'm now thinking of this year being like building that clientele of when I started in photography or when I changed my pricing, and I have to get those clients back. I have to get new clients in. So I'm really excited to see the hard work that we're doing on the back end to increase our SEO, social media presence, doing TikToks like this, talking it out, and then see how it goes for next year. So if you are running a small business, trying to homeschool, trying to figure out what is best for you and your family, feel free to follow along with my journey as well.